Friday, January 16th, 2015. My name is Jason Ben Parsons. I'm an autistic self-advocate, and this is the fourth video in a series of videos talking about the organizational meeting that we had for a autism social and networking group that met last Saturday, so in this video is actually the second video talking about the specific issues that we discussed in the previous video. I brought up the issues pertaining to the autistic socialization and finding starting meetups for to meet the recreational needs. And then we went on to talk about the needs to have meetings in which we're learning about autism, okay, and what exactly it is. And to be honest, that this is actually about where in the meeting I started to crash a little bit, as far as if you watch the first video, I mentioned all the problems I was having, and that I wasn't really I wasn't really in my flow, and so I was just basically doing an info dump, but nevertheless, so I wasn't really able to present all my ideas and all the various issues, sample issues, because that's one of the things I want to do, is talk about a whole variety of sample issues that they're very important, that autistics, their parents, and professionals need to be coming together to discuss. And that's one of the things that I started off by talking about, is that there's different types of meetings. Just like with AA, some of their meetings are called book meetings, where all they do is read from the big book. And in the autism community, we have all these different books written by various authors, that talking about autism, and this would be a great opportunity, a great format for a lot of people to learn about autism. And particularly Temple Grandin has written numerous books on some various topics of autism, and I could see somebody starting a Temple Grandin group, in order specifically to go through these different books that she's written, in discussing them. Now, as for me, I wouldn't actually attend such meetings, because I'm not really a reader, okay? I learn more by verbal dialogue, but nevertheless, I realize that other people do learn better by reading, and for those people, I would definitely support the creation of such groups. As far as me, as I mentioned in the previous video, the Temple Grandin movie, if you get the DVD, after you watch the movie, that they then have another section, a commentary section, which they play the movie through again, but with the volume, all the way down, so that way you can hear over, that commentary by Temple Grandin, the director and the writer of the movie, and Temple Grandin is, just goes and it gives all kinds of really great insight. Keep in mind, prior to me watching that movie for the first time, okay, I had been an autistic self-advocate for close to 5 years, okay, or 4 years, 4 or 5 years, whatever. But anyways, and I had prior to that done a 6-hour seminar on autism. Even I was wowed by a couple of things that she pointed out, and so I'm picturing myself, showing this commentary and pausing the video, at certain places to elaborate on so much of what she's saying, and springboarding into even other things that she didn't bring up, but that she provides such a good foundation, to spring off of. And so I may not be part of a Temple Grandin reading group, but if anybody wants to, to do a viewing of the Temple Grandin movie, I would love to host that, and set up a meeting which I would host that, and then after after playing the Temple Grandin movie straight through for those who've never seen it before, we could then watch the commentary, in which I would be pausing the commentary every so often to elaborate on all these issues. And so, and I just think this would be I would definitely love to do it, because I just think she has so much good information, and I just encourage everybody to watch the Temple Grandin movie, because it was just so good. Get the DVD, watch the movie, and then watch the commentary. It is just so good. And but as far as discussing other issues, that there are numerous issues that need to be discussed. Okay, and including education issues, autistics in school, and I just did a two-part video series talking about me getting involved in school, re-enrolling in school, and in the first video I was talking, I made mention of specific, things that, special accommodations for myself that is going to allow me to be more successful this time. If I would have known this back in high school, I might have been a lot more successful in school than I was. I might not have hated school. I did finally graduate with a 1.9 GPA, even though I had 140 IQ. But nevertheless, discussing these issues, and autistics like myself who are figuring these things out, being able to contribute these suggestions to those who are still in school, to just try them out, see if they work, and to have this kind of exchange of ideas. Also, other issues, are vocational issues. Okay, like I said, I was diagnosed with autism back in 2009, and I'm just now starting school. I finally, after all this time, have found a vocation that I can succeed at. Okay, and this is no thanks to these autism professionals who make all these assumptions that all of our school issues are the same as our vocational issues, when they're not. Okay, school is designed to set up the students to succeed in the future. Your vocation, your job, in most jobs, is to make the boss rich. Okay, completely different environments, completely different supervisors. Your boss at work is completely different from your teacher at school. Completely different motives and agendas. Okay, and as me and this other gentleman that I was, that I mentioned earlier that I was talking to at our meeting, though every employer has its own things as far as what the own expectations of their employees. Okay, and so if you're going to be talking about why autistics struggle, the first thing you need to do is ask, what are these different employers looking for in their employees, and finding an employer whose expectations and whose wants, as far as what he wants, he or she wants his or her employees to do, or suits who the autistic is. Okay, and this is something that is not being done. That this is not the approach being used in the autism community right now to deal with these employment issues. They're making the assumptions that all these school issues are appearing in the work environment, and quite frankly, you don't go to work to socialize. Okay, some bosses get really annoyed when you socialize. So your social skills in most of the jobs that I've had, okay, my social skills were not the issue. My manual dexterity was the issue. Okay, remember I believe it was either the first or second video. No, it was actually the video talking about me going back to school. One of the issues I brought up is that I have horrible manual dexterity, and it caused me problems when taking notes because I could not keep up. I could not take notes fast enough. Well, going into the work environment, I know any job that is a production job, construction, fast foods, assembly, any of these jobs, I'm guaranteed to fail, okay, because my hands are pathetically slow. And there was a really great side-by-side demonstration for me a couple of years ago when another autistic friend of mine, helped me put together some furniture for a elderly neighbor that I had, and so we got everything put together, and then we put on the backboard. And so he took one row of screws, I took another row. By the time that I was finishing putting in my first screw, he was just starting his third. Okay, now there is a side-by-side comparison of why I cannot make it in construction, assembly, fast food, and stuff like that. I am pathetically slow. Then there's issues of executive functioning, and that is a lengthy discussion. With less than 4 minutes in this video, I can't even begin to do that issue justice. Okay, and so these are just a small sampling of the specific issues that we need to discuss. Okay, and I'm not talking about these professionals who appoint themselves as our representatives without our consultation or consent, presuming to know that they know what our issues are without actually having talked to us or our bosses. That's the difference between me and these experts. I actually talked to my boss, okay? My boss has actually told me why I was such a useless employee, okay? These experts haven't talked to my bosses, okay? They have no clue what my bosses actually told me about why I was so useless, okay? I did. That's why I have insights that these alleged experts do not have, and they never will have until they sit at the same table with us and they listen to us talk about our experiences, what our bosses told us, and if we need to give written permission for them to go and contact some of our former bosses to get the perspective of these former bosses, then they will actually have usable information. Then they'll actually know the facts about what's really happening on the work site, instead of just assuming that all the classroom issues are appearing on their work site, which is not the case in many situations. Again, some jobs do require social skills. Production jobs do not. Okay, they just want you to produce. Okay, and like I said, there's a number of other issues pertaining to just this one issue of occupational struggles of autistics, and there's also dozens of other issues that autistics, their loved ones, and these professionals need to discuss if everybody is going to actually gain a holistic understanding of autism. It's not just from the professional's perspective, it's not just from the non-autistics perspective, but it also includes the autistics perspective. Okay, this is what is needed, and this is the kind of meetings that I want to start.